All right, we're back. I was in the middle of something, putting apple butter on my bread. Hey, Sam, you know, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. It's 9:06. You can call 706-889-9700. You can text 706-889-9700. You can send an email to chief@FetchYourNews.com. You can follow on Twitter at FetchYourNews. You can follow on Twitter at FYNTV. You can do all that. Now, fortunately, I'm in a room. No, fortunately, Sam's saying fortunately for her, but fortunately for me, I'm in a room by myself. And there is a barrier between us that they cannot throw things this way. And it is the one true safety mechanism I have. So what I'm about to do, or what I'm about to say, I'm glad I have a wall to where, you know, I don't have any projectiles flying at me. Hey, Sam, call Sears and place an order for me. Yeah, place an order. Call Sears. Tell Sears up there at Blue Ridge, I need apple bread. Take a list. Write this down. I need apple bread. Don't get me any of that hard cider. Could you see me on that? Woo! No. I hear it's great. I'm
gonna mix it in with the bottle of the plain apple cider that's in the fridge and just not tell you. We're just gonna spike the punch.
Oh, now I have to be cautious. I gotta be cautious on everything. It's like going to the party and not knowing. All right, okay, but yeah, call Sears. Tell them I need apple cider donuts ASAP. Hey, it's getting close to October. The leaves are changing. It's apples in North Georgia here. Okay, now Fannin County, I want to make a couple comments. All right, we're going to stay focused here for a minute. I'm going to make a couple comments. It really is not my intent to upset anybody, but I do want to give my opinion on some things. Now, regardless of when I go to Fannin County Board of Commissioners meetings, let me start with Board of Commissioners. Okay, when I go to Fannin County Board of Commissioners meetings, or any government meeting for that matter, I just go there and I do not look at the people on the council. I don't. Or commissioners. I look at the seats that belong to the citizens that you have elected to represent you in their matters. That's that simple. So yes, when you're doing rural county news is tough. You could write state news. You could write it all day long. It's not like you're just going to bump into most of these people in the grocery store. So, you know, if you're at the AJC or anywhere like that and you want to rip the governor or you want to yell at this one or say the transportation secretary, this, that, you want to do all that, it's pretty good because you're not really like bumping into them at the baseball game. Not, you know, it's not all the time. National news is real easy, you know. I'm for sure that James Clapper, I'm just not going to bump into him over, you know, in aisle 7 of the grocery store. But when you do local rural news, it's tough because you do like the people. You really, seriously, you get used to the people. They're nice. You like them. You don't dislike these people. You don't go into these meetings with an agenda to sit down and say, well, I don't like that commissioner. I don't like that commissioner. Okay? You do. I don't like that council member. I don't like that council member. All right? It's tough. Because you're going to run into their kids and you're going to run into their families and you're going to run into them at the store and so on and so forth, all right? And they're going to know that you made these comments or those comments. So where it comes to, I've always been clear, I will not deny friendship with certain people. That's where I live. I mean, I just will not deny that, yeah, there's some people that are my friends. So I'll be upfront about that. So any of the other media outlets, you know, not just Fannin County, that, you know, tries to portray that they don't have friendships in the community and they are non-biased in any way whatsoever. They're looking at you, and I guess we'll roll with my favorite word today. They're lying to you. I have some friendships, but that has never stopped me, okay, from looking in to the truth. I give everybody a chance. People come up and say, this guy's a bad guy, this lady's a bad guy. They're not a bad guy or a bad lady just by telling me that, or a bad person just by telling me that. They're not. I mean, it's not. There was a time several years ago where I didn't realize some things. I had heard some things, but I didn't realize some things. And I really got along with the chief of police of Blue Ridge, Johnny Searcy. There was a time where I got along with him. Okay? You know, I didn't just determine I don't like this guy anymore. Bottom line. So let me get to the point of Fannin County Board of Commissioners, where I'm going. Now, Stan Helton was elected in after the previous administration, and Stan Helton has Earl Johnson and Larry Joe Sosby as post commissioners. And yesterday, Fannin County, and I want you to go to Fannin County Fetch Your News and click on News. Click on News on Fetch Your News. Click on Fannin County, then click on News, and start going through there. And Stan Helton, the chairman, held in my time, the first all-day budget workshop, Fannin County budget workshop. And it lasted from 9 to 5 all day long. And they brought in department heads, all the department heads. They had the department heads explain, okay? Had the department heads explain why they needed their budget. In fact, the road department has cut their budget enormously. An enormous cut to their budget. You will see the detail in Natalie Kissel's article on FetchYourNews.com when it comes out. She's working on it now. But you'll see an enormous cut in that department alone. And you're going to see a very bold quote from Chairman Stan Helton about the road department and how they were able to cut it. So that's number one, a budget workshop all day long. I have never, that has not been done since Fetch Your News has been in business, period, 7 years. The budgets in the past have been sent up, approved, and done. Very little, if any, explanation. No time in advance for citizens to see or hear. No time in advance for citizens to see the budget in front of them, the proposed budget. And they worked all day long, doing everywhere they could to maintain services. It's my understanding, maintain services, keep what they have to do to get things done, and also cutting the budget and finding out why the budget is what it is in certain areas of the county. So I want to give, we'll wait for the outcome, but I want to give the chairman, Stan Helton, my sincere appreciation for the transparency of the taxpayer, being a good steward of the taxpayer's money and showing the taxpayer their budget for the year of operating their county. I just don't say that. Well, you know, hey, some people might not like that I said it. I got to say it. I've been waiting on that. Now, let's move along to the next thing. The city of Blue Ridge. And let's start with the city council and the mayor's race, okay? Now, I want to make sure that you don't, I tell everybody all the time, don't hear something I don't say. All right, Sam will tell you all the time, when I sit down with the group or sit down in a meeting, I'll say, don't hear something I don't say. So if I don't, listen close on how I put this out. And I know sometimes I don't articulate things well. I understand that there needs to be a better parking in downtown Blue Ridge. And I may have said this myself in the past, and if I have, I'm going to want to say retract it. I want to stay away from this. Blue Ridge does not have a parking crisis, because crisis is a big word, and I want to be careful. That's not a crisis, okay? Blue Ridge does have a parking issue, all right? It does. It is hard sometimes to find a parking space that is, close to where you want to be in the city of Blue Ridge. That is true. And they need to resolve their parking issues so they can grow in the future, all right? But, I hear parking. And, parking is a direct effect. And this is where I think when I get done, I don't know how many people are going to like me. But the parking issue in Blue Ridge is a direct effect for the business owners, which I support. Don't hear something I'm not saying. It's a direct effect for the business owners and, for the most part, the visitors. Okay? That's the bottom line. The business owners in downtown and the people that visit the city. The actual residents of Blue Ridge, I support the business owners. I was at Blues and Barbecue for 8 hours. I'll be at Light Up Blue Ridge. I love all that stuff. I support it. We support it here. I'll be at Paul's in the Park. Sassafras will be on our leash going down the parade. We support it all. But the reality is, I don't really like the parking in the mode of crisis and it coming up such in a high level, myself, on a high level of campaign issues. I'm sorry. Just, it doesn't for me. I understand it. But the residents of Blue Ridge, that's not their direct effect. The voters, the residents, the people that live there, the people that go to work in the morning and go back in their driveway at night, those people, that's not exactly the direct effect on them. And recently, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. Sources tell me, and I cannot reveal the sources in effect because sometimes it gets dangerous. And I have to be candid. It gets dangerous to reveal the sources. I mean, when you get phone calls from me saying, hey, can you drive through the city of Blue Ridge? I'm really serious, okay? And I hate to go to the level of danger, all right? But in my opinion, because God knows their attorneys got their legal pads out taking notes, in my opinion, they violated Patrick Crane's civil rights. They harassed Patrick Crane because he was a part of exposing something on my words that I put together, the Fannin cartel. Patrick Crane is involved or came out publicly and exposed members of the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. Okay? All right. Now, he exposed that. And in his words, he alleges that it's Councilwoman Angie Arp, Councilwoman Angie Arp, Chief of Police Johnny Searcy, Steve Setzer over at the Drive-In, and Mark Tomlinson, former publisher of the Fannin Focus. Well, he ended up getting arrested. Okay? So, the city of Blue Ridge, and I'm going to say this, and this is the accusations, I want to say, are alleged. Okay, some of these accusations they're alleged. Don't have all the I's dotted and T's crossed. But if you are from Blue Ridge, you know what I'm talking about. If you are from Blue Ridge, you know the truth. All right? There are some very good, and what's going to come out this week, and we want to make sure there's some very good business establishments that sell alcohol, package stores, sell alcohol, that serve alcohol, that follow the state laws. So I want to be positive about that. They follow the state laws, and they serve over 21. They card you, everything. So this is not a direct reflection on every establishment in the city limits of Blue Ridge. But you're going to get their charges are coming. Charges. That's the quote that's been said to me. Charges are coming. Charges are being put together now for what I understand to be five different places. Now, sources tell me that the Blue Ridge City Police, I want to look right in the camera and tell you, every time I say Blue Ridge City Police, I don't know every officer in the city of Blue Ridge. I for sure there's some good officers in that department. So I'm not singling any of them out. I don't know you directly. And we are pro-law enforcement here in our organization. But let me tell you what we're not. We're not supporting, allegedly, okay, allegedly, we're not supporting illicit, illegal activities within the city limits of Blue Ridge. We will not. Period. Won't do it. Okay? Because supposedly there's been that sources say that Chief Johnny Searcy has been talked to about possible underage drinking and purchasing alcohol within the city limits. Supposedly. Supposedly, the sources got tired of asking the chief of police or talking to him, that's supposedly, and went to the sheriff of the county. Now, when you ask the questions, there's going to be a full report. The sheriff has the right to do this. Some people are going to come up, well, that's Johnny Searcy's jurisdiction, the city of Blue Ridge. What right does the sheriff have to do this? He has every right. They will show you they have every right at any time to do what they did. And they did what they did last week, a sting. They went through and purchased, there was purchase of alcohol at stores, and there was a request to buy alcohol at some establishments. And that they did a sting operation that will result, my understanding, in 5 locations where they're putting the charges together now. I'm going to look at the camera. I'm going to ask you, Johnny, if you're watching, why the hell didn't you do it? Why? Why didn't you go through that city and run that sting operation? Are you going to look back at us and say you weren't aware of any of it? Now, here's another thing. I keep saying sources, and the only reason I do that is because, folks, it's not fair to put some people's names out, but I know of what I speak. It's very well known that Mr. Searcy is going door to door, maybe on the taxpayer's dime, as the chief of police. And by the way, Mr. Searcy, I sure hope you're not wearing the uniform when you walk in these doors. I just hope you're not. I hope you're not even wearing a shirt with the emblem that says chief of police. Period. Okay? I hope you're not. That's right. That's a violation. So the chief of police, hopefully on his own personal time, he's going door to door and campaigning against the mayor. Okay, now that's up to you. Do you want to vote for the mayor or not? Now I'm going to get to something here in a minute. You want to vote for the mayor or not? I mean, Mayor Donald Whitener, or you want to vote for Mayor Doyle Brendan, candidate Doyle Brendan for mayor, whoever you want to vote for. But he is campaigning against. All right. Now, in one of the establishments, all right, that is going to, should be getting charges. I got to wait till the charges come out, but I was confirmed it was the establishment, is the borough. The borough is owned by Doyle Brendan. Doyle Brendan wants to be your mayor. All right? Now, I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying yesterday there's a lot of smoke. So Doyle Brendan wants to be your mayor. I wouldn't talk to Mr. Brendan. Seems like a nice guy. But I also know that he gave, I'm going to bring the paperwork, he gave $1,000+ in campaign donations to Johnny Searcy when Johnny ran for ran for sheriff. When Johnny ran for sheriff, he gave over $1,000+ in campaign donations. Now, I was said that it looks like people are running in groups. Now, I'm not here this morning making any comments looking for who's going to call and thank me after this show. I don't give a damn, okay? But, it looks like, you could go and look in yards, okay? You can look in the yards, and you can see a Ken Gaddis sign, and you can see several with a Ken Gaddis. Now, this is the homeowners decide, and you can see a Donna Whitener sign, you can see a Rhonda Thomas sign, and Robbie Cornelius sign, and you can see these signs all together in one yard. And then you go to another yard, you can see an Angelina Powell, an Angie Art. You can start seeing some Brendan Doyle. You see some other signs together. Okay? I'm just saying. Look, I'm okay when I read posts about a possibility of a city park pool. I'm okay with that. I like that. I love the memories of being 10 years old and going to the city pool. And I've always been I've always been in favor of a good city pool for the community. I always have. I've always supported that. Because I'd rather see the kids over at a good city pool. I'd rather spend $500,000. I know you don't believe that. As a conservative I am, maybe discussing spending some money. But I'd rather see the kids, the 10-year-olds. I'd like to see the bicycles riding to the pool, the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, the moms with the kids in the kiddie pool, the whole 9 yards during the summer. I like seeing that, opposed to seeing these kids get strung out on drugs. All right? So I'll always support a good city pool to have an activity in the summer for our kids. Always will. But you know what? I don't want to hear about the damn park. I don't want to hear that you put a damn swing set downtown. I know more about that park, how long it took, how much money was wasted, how much money had to be given back in grant money, $60,000 back. I don't want to hear about the park. I don't want to hear a single candidate go through Blue Ridge and champion that they put a slide in the center of Blue Ridge. You know what? I don't. I want to hear about the future of our children in this city of Blue Ridge. What's the future for these children? No. We're going to talk, oh, we put a park in. Okay, great. Great. That was a real fiasco, putting that damn park in a slide. And monkey bars, they don't have monkey bars anymore. Or parking. What about the future of our kids? Let me tell you something. I want a city council that will commit, okay, that will commit to cleaning up anything that comes close to illicit, illegal activity in that city that will hurt our children. Period. And anybody attached to that or anybody close to it, now I don't know, there needs to be an investigation, so I'm not calling out. They need to come out of that city immediately. We don't need to be known in the city as a possible underage drinking. I want to thank the sheriff's office for doing it. I want to thank it. Because when you reach 21, if you legally want to walk in and consume alcohol, that's your business. That's fine. Okay? There's state laws. All right? But I want any illicit, criminal, drug, any activity cleaned up in that city. Period. I spoke to a friend yesterday afternoon. I stopped, talked to a friend, and we were talking about some stuff in downtown, and this is not Fannin County. I stand on the sideline of high school football. I watch these kids every Friday night. And I think some of you out there know that. There's not a high school baseball game, basketball games, football games. I drag myself to them all the time because I love these kids. You can call me anything you want. I stood on the sideline last year and watched this running back. And I ain't going to mention the county. You probably know where it's at. It's right here in North Georgia. I watched this running back all year long, and man, this kid just cranked up the yards, And he was one of the driving forces, this young man, such a strong player, and the reason this team went to postseason and won. This kid was awesome as a running back. I think he's doing time for heroin right now. Just graduated last year. I think he's doing time for heroin. All right? All I'm saying is, yes, we have a parking problem in Blue Ridge. Yes, we do. Yes, you put a park downtown with a sliding board. Yes. We've got infrastructure issues. Well, let me tell you what we need to do. We need to clean the illegal, okay, crime, drugs, no matter what it is, out of the city of Blue Ridge. And I'm sorry if I said something today you don't like, but I'm tired of it. And I'm not okay with it. And I'm not okay with the Fannin cartel. And I'm not okay with them violating people's rights and putting Patrick Crane in jail because he exposed them. I'm not okay with it. Oh, by the way, Johnny, did I say that I hope you're not campaigning with your uniform on or even an emblem on your shirt? If I didn't, I want to remind you. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back after these brief messages. And we'll wrap up with a couple more things we have for you.